Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to see about scopes. Some scope related things that we have seen in C++. We must be seeing some uh, local variable, global variable, something like that. So in this video we are going to see about scopes and also about the event handling mechanisms that are in JavaScript. So first we can see scopes. In JavaScript we have three different scopes. One is local, global, and nested scope. Three different scopes are there. We will be seeing with local scope. Local scope is nothing but it is used, the variable can be used inside the function, and then scope is accessible within the function. Similarly, global is defined outside the function, and it is accessible throughout the program. So let me create some function. This is function nf of, and I'm going to create a variable called variable x is equal to 10. And in this example itself you can see both the scopes, and I'm going to create another variable in nf of function, that is variable y equal to 20. So let us see the scope, and alert of, I'm going to give alert of y x, let it be x, and here also I'm going to give alert of x, and we are going to display the output. As far as this program, what happens is this alert of x, this is a global variable. Since it's a global variable, the output should be, so in this x we are going to display it. Since this is a global variable, it can be used, we can see the output anywhere in the program. That is, we can see inside a function also, we can see outside a function also. So that should happen on executing this. Now let's see our output. I'm going to open this with live server. So in this I'm going to see output 10 is the output. Alert of x and alert of x. That's because we have not called a function named nf. We should call that function to get both the alert functions. See 10, and again I'm getting 10. But if in this case I'm giving alert of y, and here I'm giving, let it be x itself, let it be x here, and I'm giving alert of y here. So actually y is a local variable and it cannot be accessible outside the function, it is accessible inside the function. So probably we'll be creating some errors. Then we'll get, and we'll be getting some error in our console window, like y not defined. See, y is not defined because it is a local variable and it has local scope, so it cannot be displayed outside the function. But if we give this inside this function, it works. 10, 10, 20. So it is working, right? 10 is for this alert of x, and after this function call it will go here, and here again 10, and here 20. So this is how it works. Now we are going to see nested scope. Nested scope is usually if we give a function, define a function within another function, it is called as nested function. The same thing, if we give a variable which is a nested function, which is inside a nested function, the variable is called as nested variable. If we give for example variable, let me give us variable y here, and this is a nested function, and this is called as a nested variable. So this can be accessed only within this function. Let me give y. This y works, okay, this y will work. And after this I'm going to call this f of, and here after this function call, I'm giving alert of y again. So what happens is, first this nf function will be called, x is equal to 10, it will be x will be 10, it will be displayed here. First x will be displayed here, and then the function will be called, and again it will go here. In this function we are giving f function call of this, so it will go here, y equal to 30, and here we are going to print that y30 to be printed, and the function will be closed here. And again here we are printing this alert of y, that is 30, but it will not be there because this is a nested scope. It has a nested scope, so it is accessible only within this function. So that should be our output 10 first, and then we should get 30, and again that should be an error. That must be an error. That is an error because another 30 we are not getting it, right? So 10, 30, and it is an error. Actually it's an error because we are not getting this alert of y. We are not getting this alert of y, so we are getting some 10, 30, and the next output we are not getting. That is because of the error, because it is declared outside the function, so it does not have any scope. See, y is not defined. We are getting 10, 30, and another one is error. We are not able to see the error because of some loading mistake that my system has, so that does not bother you anymore. So this is an error we are getting in this variable. Okay, and now we are going to see some events and event handling mechanisms. Usually JavaScript, we have seen this much time in JavaScript is immediate mode of execution. Now we are going to see deferred mode, that is our program execution is delayed or deferred due to some event that is happening. That in our program is interrupted for a period of time for some events that is happening inside the program. So that is called deferred mode of execution, and that happens because of event handling mechanisms that is in JavaScript. So we are going to see some event handlers now. So in this event handlers we have some on click, which we have seen already, and on click, on change, on blur, so on click, on change, on blur, on mouse out, on mouse over, on key press, on key up, key down. Still there are some functions. So these are some basic things. So on click is when you click a specific element of the HTML element, the event occurs. On change, while some HTML element changes, it happens. On blur, when it loses its focus, when it loses the focus, when opacity is down, or some focus when it loses, this happens. On mouse out is when you move out of this HTML element. For example, let us assume this is an HTML element like div. So if I'm hovering over this. So on hovering, on mouse over, that is called on mouse over. On hovering, something will happen. So that is called on mouse over. Now I'm moving out of this div element. So at that time some execution happens. That is called on mouse out. On key presses, when you press any key in your keyboard, and when you release this, some functions that you define will happen. Key up and key down are on pressing the up arrow and down arrow of the keyboard. So now we are going to see that. So let me comment this. We don't need this now. To this we can comment. We are going to comment this, and I'm going to uncomment these lines. So here I'm giving let us give on click. So on click this button, I have created a button. On click of this button, I'm saying it should execute NFR function. In NFR function, I'm calling here, okay, this is not commented. Okay, so in NFR function, I'm giving the document.get element by id center in an HTML, right? Okay, see, I'm clicking this. I'm saying that document.getElementById. By id. So you should get an element, get the element of the tag which has an id as center. So in this which have the id as center, this div id. So I'm creating some div tag here with the id center, and I'm creating some buttons on which on click should call this function. So in this function I'm giving that the tag, the HTML element with this id should, if it found some IDs with this, it should write hello subscribe our channel. It should write hello subscribe our channel within that HTML tag, that is inner HTML. So within this div tag, the center ID which has the center ID is this div tag. So within this div tag, hello subscribe our channel should be present. So we can wait and see our response this way. Okay, we can wait and see our response. So this is a button. So if I click, hello subscriber channel is getting executed. So I'm going to say the another thing. This is a div tag. Usually in our last example we have not used this div tag, right? But now we are using this div tag because in this inner HTML you can use any tags like this. For example, I'm going to give here itself. This is called some external because I'm calling a function and this function is executing. Now I'm going to give some internal thing, that is so document get element by id of center. So in this center I'm saying that you have to give single quotes because we have already given double quotes here, right? We have already given double quotes here, so you should mention it in single quotes. Hello subscribe, I'm giving that. Okay, let us comment this. Okay, I'm commenting this. Now let's see our output. Invalid left hand side assignment. We are getting some error. Okay, just because dot inner HTML is missing. So on click we are getting hello subscribe. This is how we do, but we can also give some bold tag. If you want the text to be bold, you can give like this. You can give a bold tag, that is B tag. So within this you can open and start the text. So if you use in this way, it will be very useful. So that will, if you want some bold to be text should be about this element, about this font size, it should be bold, it should be italic, you can use in this way. That's why they have designed. So it will be in bold. You can see that clearly. Hello subscribe is bold, right? So this is what B tag it can help you. This is called as inline scripting because on click what we are giving the script tag, that is JavaScript code inside the HTML on click button itself. So this is called inline scripting. We are not but it's better to not use this because this enough tag, this is better to use because mostly in script you may there will be some restrictions of using the code within the inline things. You cannot specify styles. You can specify it, but you have to have some complications. The code should be too long. So to avoid that, or to avoid some errors, basically to avoid some errors, it's better to use this external, like giving function name, and you can call that. Within this function you can write this. So in this div tag instead of bold tag, I'm giving div tag, and I'm going to give some styles. That is style equal to border to pixel solid back, and style is a tag which is used in CSS to add some style. This is called as inline styling. There are external, internal, and inline. Styles are used to give some beauty to a HTML element, that is like colors let's say borders, margins, padding, um, some animations. These things can be done with the help of the style tag. And within this inner HTML, not only HTML, within this inner HTML, that is within this JavaScript, you can not only give HTML functions, you can also give styles also. So I'm giving style equal to border. Border is nothing but 2 pixels. That is the width of the border. The thickness of the border should be 2 pixels. It should be solid and should be black in color. Usually we can see CSS in later part of our sessions, not in this JavaScript video. We'll be dealing with a separate language like CSS later. So in that we can clearly see some of the styles attributes which are necessary for adding style to our HTML element. So in this border to pixel solid black, I'm giving it, and now I'm going to run this program. So see, I have created a border which width of 2 pixels, and it is solid because let me give let me give dotted here. So you can see this is a dotted lines, that is like I have given solid, so it is single line. If you give dotted, it will change, and it is in black color. You can give red, more colors available. You can add beauty to your text. So on clicking the functions, it is happening. Similarly, I'm going to give solid red. I'm giving, but not on click. Let me give on mouse over. So we are going to give different click, event. So on mouse over is, I'm going to see, I'll show again. I'm not clicking anything. So I have mouse here. I'm going to move my mouse to this button. If I move this to the button, I'll get the output, which is in red color. The same thing on mouse out. Mouse out to start. If you move here, it is when your mouse is not inside the button tag, it should come. You may ask why it's not coming here. For that, first you should have your button in click me. So now I'm having my button. Now I'm having my mouse pointed over this button. If I move out, the output should be displayed. If I move out, the output is getting displayed. So this is a click event. And on key press. So this is my key press. That is, I should mention that I'm in this. I should first mention that I'm in this button. That is, I have to click that, or I should mention, because you may click here, the system or the desktop does not know where are you. If you press here and if you press any key now, the output, you may not see the output. It's because you are in a different element. You are not inside this button. So to show that you are in this button, you have to click it, and if you press any key, you will get the output. I have pressed P key and I'm getting the output. So better way to show this is, I'm giving a div tag. Let me give a div tag, and I'm creating a width. So I'm creating this. Okay. So in this you can see, this is a click me thing, and if I press any button, I should mention that you are in this div tag. So I'm clicking this and I'm pressing any key, the output should be that. That is what is happening, right? For that, you are using this. So we have used a button, but now we are using a click me. So what that means is, that button, you are clicking that button and you are showing that you are in this tag, you are in this feed, you are in this path. So to show that, you are using, I have just showed you the help of this div example. Let us have this as that be button itself. To show you, to demonstrate that you are inside that div tag, I have showed you that example. So first I have to mention that I'm inside this, and I have to press a key, the output should be displayed, right? So this is to show you that you are inside the div tag, to show you that you are inside the button tag. I have explained with that example. So now I'm going to give on key down and key up, the same thing. You should mention that you are inside this clip, so you have to click that as I clicked in the case of div. You have to do in the same way in this button, and I'm going to click the up arrow. If I click the up arrow, the output should be displayed. The same, sorry, down arrow. I'm sorry, I have clicked the down arrow, and I have clicked the down arrow, so the output is displayed. See, I'm clicking this and I'm clicking the down arrow button, I'm getting the output. So that is what on key down, on key up. So if you click the on key up, I'm going to give, have to show that I'm inside the button. That's how it moves. And now I'm going to give key up, the output is displayed. So that is what this event handling mechanisms. You can not only use this on key up functionality here, you can use them not only in button functionality, you can use in paragraph p tags, you can use in some other tags, not only in button tag, it will be used in all other tags. Let me show you an example of that. So I'm going to explain with the help of this on mouse over in this p tag, which is not only button, you can use in any other tag as we saw in div tag. But see, I'm going to keep my mouse over the speed tag. So if I kept, the output is displayed. Like that you can use on key press, on key up and key down. But the way of seeing the output may differ, because since it is speed tag, you don't know where it opens and where up to where the width is there. So you should do some more examples to identify how the key up, key press, key down are working. So that's how it helps you. And in our next video we'll be seeing some objects. So as a part of, if you have any doubts or if you want to say some comments, you can comment below. Okay, bye and take care.